Nobody wins when the family feels.
Who is that?
Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed.
Oh, you scared me.
That's what I said. Don't be alarmed. I'm looking for my cousin that's missing. She a 13-year-old girl. And somebody told me that she might be in this area. So I'm not trying to scare y'all. I'm just looking for my cousin. Naziah Harris. Thank you very much.
10-year-old Naziah Harris stepped off her school bus and disappeared.
Now her family is still waiting for answers. And Harris was last seen in early January after she got off the school bus. She has not been heard from or seen since.
They didn't report her missing to the day after she went missing. Just the fact that this well-known pedophile was around any of them was a problem for me.
Last time you been up to your daughter's school, I said my daughter's school. I said I don't even know what school she go to. I said I've been looking for her. And they looked at each other. I said you been up to your daughter's school. I said my daughter's school. I said I don't even know what school she go to. I said, I've been looking for her. And they looked at each other, and I was like, what's going on? They said, your daughter's missing.
Fam, last year we did a story on a man who was arrested for having an inappropriate relationship with his baby mother's niece. That young girl was later identified as Naziah Harris, just 13 years old, last seen January 9th, 2024. Now, I'll leave the link in the bio for those who want to catch up on this case, because today is an update, a final update. Within the last 24 hours of me making this video, this man was sentenced. We'll later go over his sentence, but it wasn't just for Naziah. It was for multiple underage little girls from Michigan. Now, as we briefly go over the timeline once again, we're going to also head to court and hear some impact statements from not only the victim's family, but the perpetrator's own sister, who was herself assaulted by an older gentleman, and was just shocked at the fact that the brother that she once had under her wing would do the same to not only Naziah Harris, but multiple underage female victims. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. See, in the last video we did in pertaining to this case, we talked about the sister of the man accused of killing 13-year-old Naziah Harris, who said she believes she saw the teen at her brother's auto shop just hours before she went missing from her school bus. She testified back in January of 2025, and during a preliminary exam in Detroit's 36th District Court, Tawana Butts called Naziah a little girl and said she saw her get out of her brother's truck at the auto shop between 4:30 to 6 p.m. on January 9th, 2024, the last day she was seen. She didn't see the teen's face, but recalled her colorful jacket. She quoted, "I kept saying a little girl get in and out his truck," Tawana Butts said, going to the gas station and going to his car. "I saw her as she was walking. I never saw her face. I just remember her having on a colorful jacket." Tawana was 46 at the time when she took the stand. She was one of 8 witnesses who testified at a preliminary exam for Jarvis Butts to determine if there was probable cause for him to stand trial for the assault and murder of Naziah. Several others who also testified said that Naziah was wearing a colorful jacket when they last saw her. Most who knew her well said nothing seemed off or out of the ordinary before she disappeared.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done.
Only the substitute teacher, who had known Nazaria since first grade, said she seemed off. Now, it was later confirmed that Jarvis had 13 children, and his sister only knew about 8. His baby mother name was Shannon Harris, who was the aunt of Nazaria Harris. She also testified that she has 5 children with Jarvis Butts. She lives with her mother, and she mentioned that back in January of 2024, and testified that Jarvis was known to pick up Nazaria. And some thought at that moment that maybe the aunt Shannon Harris had possibly knew something was going on prior to this incident. Fast forward 2 years later, on February 12, 2026, Jarvis Butts pled guilty to second-degree M of Nazaria Harris and to SA of 5 girls, including a daughter of his. You heard it right, fam. His own daughter. On the second week of March of 2026, he was expected to receive his sentence. But on that same day, impact statements came from not only the victim's family, but his own, his older sister. Before we talk about what he was sentenced to, check out what they had to say.
Ending in 218.
218, thank you.
Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So, I just wanted to explain a few things to you. That red illuminated device in front of you, yes, that's a microphone. It's also a recording device. And I see that you have a written copy of the statement. Okay. So when you are done, if you could just provide a copy of that, perhaps to the prosecutor's office, so we can make a copy of that, okay? And then you can sit or stand, however you would like to do it. Just make sure that you're keeping your voice nice and loud and clear for us. If you could just first state and spell your name.
Excuse me. Annette Harris, ANNETTEHARRIS.
Thank you, ma'am. And there are Kleenex there if needed, whenever you're ready.
To the Honorable Judge Nicholas John Hathaway. In the Wayne County Circuit Court. Good morning. I would like to thank the court for giving me the opportunity to speak as I stand here before you to address the concerns that me and my family have. It has been 2 years and 2 months since I reported Nazaria missing. I want you to know that my life will never be the same. depressed. It's another day without her. I love her and I miss her dearly. I can't tell her that because her life was I can't tell her that because her life was taken from her. Words cannot express just how much me and my family really miss and love this life. This has impacted my life and my family's life. There are days when I can't, when I don't want to get out of bed. I wake up feeling depressed. I don't want to talk to anybody, to anyone, just getting out of bed. To do the basic everyday things that I miss, I'm sorry.
If you're struggling with depression and not feeling the comfort and peace that you need, I invite you to meet with missionaries like me from the
I don't want to get out of bed. I wake up feeling depressed. I don't want to talk to anyone. Just getting out of bed to do the basic everyday things that I need to get done. This has affected my health. I am seeing more than one doctor about my health, including seeing the therapist. I don't feel safe in my home. My address and my phone number has been put on social media. People have been driving by, taking pictures of my home. I have been threatened. My family have been threatened. Pictures taken of me and my family following me in my car. Pictures posted. Setting up GoFundMe raises in the Zion's name without my permission. And this has also affected me financially. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Take your time, man.
Shut up.
Okay. Anybody else wants to leave? There is a courtroom, 206 down the hallway. You can observe this proceeding. You can't go
And I don't come to my home.
Let's step up. Two ladies here. So, man, in the red and in the black. Let's go.
Please remain quiet. Quiet in the court.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, were you through, ma'am?
No, Judge, I'm going to finish reading the written statement for
Oh, very good. You can return to your seat now. Mr. Makepeace, you can let her get situated and then you can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to go where I remember her stopping. Posting pictures, setting up GoFundMe fundraisers in Ms. I's name without my permission. This has also affected me financially, and people doing podcast shows, emailing me, people that I don't know coming to my home, knocking on my door constantly. This is really hard and has been very painful for me, and I pray to God that no one and no other family will ever have to endure what me and my family have endured. This deserves attention and ongoing awareness to other families and people so that this does not happen to anyone and other families like this has happened to me and my family. And that would be the conclusion of the statement from Annette Harris that was provided to my office and that she was reading on the statement.
Thank you. All right. Is there any additional complainant that will be addressing the court on file ending in 218?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we have that person go next?
It's Shannon Harris.
Sorry, Mrs. Harris in court?
The Marquita Harris.
So again, ma'am, you can make your way right up here. Illuminating device. You just
K-E-T-T-A, last name, Harris, H-A-R-R-I-S.
Thank you. And ma'am, you also have a prepared statement?
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind just providing a copy to the prosecutor's office for the court file following the hearing today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी, मैं हूं फवाद खान और आज मैं आया हूं इंडस हॉस्पिटल।
2 years, 2 months, 3 days since we heard, seen, or even physically touched Ms. I. This has tremendously affected my family and I mentally, physically, and emotionally. Since this case started, we have been physically assaulted in public, cyberbullied, harassed, stalked, and so much more. I became homeless, lost several jobs in the past 2 years. My life, my family life, will never be the same again. You have taken something so precious from us that we'll never give back. Every morning, every day, every month, and every hour, I have to remind myself that my desire isn't coming back. Our life will never be the same again. Justice isn't served. You're still able to live. You're still able to get health care. You're still able to breathe without any remorse. You are an habitual serial predator. You have taken my kid's favorite cousin. You have taken my first daughter before I had my own. I hate you. I wish nothing but the worst for you. I despise you. My children were removed from my care temporarily because of you. My children's behavior has changed because of you. You have gave the world a whole story to talk about, but today we're here to tell you how this made us feel. Justice will never be served. Going back to the house where Messiah lived doesn't feel the same anymore. I don't sleep at all anymore. I recommend that the court give him the electric chair if that's what Michigan, if we had it. A life for a life. We will never know our last words. You will never know if she suffered in pain. I can't really say or express how I really feel to this whole tragic situation. Since January 9th, 2024 will be the day I never forget, the day that I got the call that she never came back home. I never live with myself. I never be able to hear her voice. I never be able to physically touch her. I never be able to see her smile. I never be able to I'll never be able to get to hold her again. I'll never be able to get to listen to her, see her smile. I'll never get to see her tell me stories of what her day went on about school. I'll never get to have that chance ever again because of you. It hurts.
Okay, Mr. Makepeace, Ms. Berkeley will be make Ms. Berkeley, who will be going next?
Judge, I believe next would be Ms. Tiwana Butts.
And which file number? 218.
218.
Come right around here, ma'am. Good afternoon. So you can have a seat or you can stand, however you're most comfortable. Just state and spell your name first, please.
Okay. My name is Tiwana Butts. First name Tijuana. Last name Butts.
Do you have a prepared statement?
I do not, sir.
That's fine. Okay. Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
I don't have a prepared statement because I had no plans to come here today. I've been battling with myself on what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do. I'm here today for Naziah and for my nieces and the other victims that my brother has harmed. Got up this morning with every intention on going to work because for the last 2 years I have to go back to that day that I saw a little girl that I did not know, that I had never seen. And I wish that there was a sign that she looked okay, and I believe that she was someone else's niece. And I had no reason not to believe what my brother said to me. That day will forever haunt me because I go back to like, why was I there? Why didn't I know? Why was there no sign? However, I'm a firm believer in God, and I do believe that sometimes we are put in places that we don't want to be in, even if we don't know why. And I feel like I was put there that day to be a voice for Naziah and for every other child that my brother has harmed. I believe that Naziah's story brought a lot of the other victims out to the forefront. And sitting in the courtroom today, there are many Naziahs and many other victims that are unfortunately being harmed right now at this moment. And people are turning a blind eye to it. People are not paying attention as a community and protecting our children from monsters, from the very people who are supposed to love them and protect them. I don't know why my brother has turned into the person that is in this courtroom today. This is not who I remember as a child. I remember a little boy that used to follow me everywhere, that always wanted to protect me, even though I'm older than him. My brother knows that I've been a victim of sexual assault. My brother knows that I've been molested at a very young age. And he knows the pain that it caused. I can't understand why he would want to cause that to an innocent child. Not just Messiah, but to his own children that have his face. I hope that every victim and my nieces and nephews can heal.
If you got hit, even if you were not driving, you need to try this.
Because if you were in a
March 12th, 2026, Jarvis Butts was sentenced to a total of 35 to 60 years in prison concurrently. Now, this is the breakdown of his sentence. In the case of Naziah Harris, 13 years old, the defendant was sentenced to 1 count of second-degree M with the sentence agreement of 35 to 60 years. This is in MDOC, and this is to run concurrent with his other cases. Count 2, 3, and 4 were dismissed. The statement made by the defendant about the location of Naziah's body is not being released. The next case, the victim was a 7-year-old female. The defendant was sentenced to 1 count of second-degree criminal as conduct with a sentence agreement of 10 years to 15 years in MDOC to run concurrently with his other cases. The next case was a 4-year-old female victim. The defendant was sentenced to count 2 of second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a sentence agreement of 10 to 15 years as mentioned to run concurrent. The next case, 8 or 9-year-old female victim, defendant pled guilty to count 2 of second-degree criminal as conduct with a sentence agreement of 10 to 15 years to run concurrent. The next case, a 13-year-old female victim. The defendant pled guilty to 1 count of third-degree criminal as conduct with a sentence agreement of 10 to 15 years in MDOC as mentioned to run concurrent. The last case was another 8-year-old victim. The defendant pleaded guilty to count 3 of second-degree criminal as conduct with a sentence agreement of 10 to 15 years in MDOC to run concurrent with his other cases. Fam, we not only want justice for Naziah Harris, but for all the victims in his case. It's one of the hardest cases I had to talk about, man. We talking about a